Stay there. Stay there, it's okay. Okay, we're gonna roll on down and just have the blocks close by you. We'll use them throughout the class and good suggestions for our back. So we're gonna roll down and start with our arms just comfortably. Mine are in kind of a goalpost position, but it depends on your body. And let's start with some big breaths. And exhale and let the shoulders just relax and your low back relax. And we're going to stretch our arms out in a T and bring the elbows down toward the waist so the shoulders roll down. And do that a few times. Just feel what's involved in this movement. And one more time. And then we're going to do some angel arms. Just bring the arms slowly out and up over our head and stretch, and then bring the arms out and down. And let's start doing that with the pelvic tilts. So pressing our low back down and then releasing. We're going to do that a few more times so you could feel where the tightness is in your back, because as we come up, you can kind of find what the pattern of tightness is in your body. Let's do that one more time, reaching the arms out and up, and just keep them over our head. And let's stretch. We're going to bring the arms a little over to the right as we turn our head to the right, and a little over to the left as we turn our head to the left. And then we're going to bring our arms down, all the way back down, and let's do some hip lifts. So we're going to lift the arms and the hips up. And again, notice how you're rolling up and rolling down. And really use the opportunity to pause on anything tight in your back to help it lengthen. And let's do a couple more. Each time we're going to lift the hips even higher and reach the arms up and breathe. And last time, let's roll up and take a few breaths. So feeling the feet pressing down and lifting the hips. 3 more breaths. And then we're going to keep our arms up, but slowly roll the hips down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then let's put our hands behind our head, right knee to left elbow. And take your time doing this side to side. So you feel that stretch. And let the breath do more of the work. So meaning exhaling as you come up. And let's do a few more. And then 1 more to each leg. And we're going to put our feet down, head down. Let's roll the legs, the knees over to the right. So we're going to keep our left arm out. And first of all, turn the head to the left and start to reach that arm up over the head. So we're going to kind of drag it up there so the arm stays down. And let's do that a few times. Feel the lengthening. Only go where it's comfortable, but know that we're stretching all that fascia in there. And 1 more time. And then take another breath, kind of feel the lengthening, and let's roll the legs to the other side, over to the left. So we're doing this just a little at a time. Head turns to the right. This side might be different. Start to drag that arm up on the floor, over your head, and then out to the side. And let's do one more time. Just take your time. And then take another breath. We're going to bring ourselves back to the center, and let's hug our knees into the chest and lift the head up to the knees. So we're strengthening and lengthening the back, and then feet down, and let's put our hands behind our head and do some regular crunches, keeping the elbows nice and wide. And why don't we use a block at the same time? We're going to put the block between our thighs, our knees, and continue. So we're using the hips to squeeze those legs in. And then the next time, let's straighten our legs up toward the ceiling and bend, and do a few more of these. And we're going to do one more. And let's put our feet down, arms come back down, and lift the hips up. Let's squeeze the block. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to slowly lower down, and let's take the block out of there. So we're going to put it underneath our sacrum and lift up. And right away, lift the chest up, roll the shoulders down so the chest is lengthening. Palms are facing up. We're going to lift the right leg straight up and point and flex the foot. Keep that breath going and make some circles with the foot. And let's circle in the opposite direction. So notice your posture when you're like this. You should be nice and long. Now we're going to point the toes and do big circles with the leg. So we're using the whole core here. Keeping the left hip down on the block. And then let's go in the opposite direction. And one more. And then we're going to bend the leg and take the leg straight out and in. So feel how the left foot is really pressing down as you do this, and control the movement. Make it even slower. We're using the hip. And just one more time. And now we're going to cross that right foot over the left thigh and lift and lower the leg 10 times. Almost touching that heel. And we've got one more. And then we're going to put our left foot down and uncross and press the right foot down. Let's lift the left leg up. And here we go, point and flex. Let's make some circles with the foot. And circle in the opposite direction. Now let's point the toes. Here we go with those big circles, keeping the right hip down. So we're really using the core because the right foot is pressing down at the same time. So we're balancing. And then we're going in the opposite direction. And the whole time we're doing this, the chest, the upper back is lengthening without us even knowing it. We've got really good posture. Let's do one more circle. And then cross the foot over the right thigh. Take a breath. And lift and lower. We're keeping the alignment in the hips 10 times. Here we go. And 5 more. And then let's put the foot down and uncross. We're going to walk the feet and the thighs together, lifting up. Just squeeze everything together. Chest is still lengthening. Take a few more breaths. Keep squeezing. See if you can come up on your toes. Keep squeezing. We're using the back of the legs. Hopefully nobody's got a cramp in their legs. And then put your hips back down and take the block away. We're going to bring our knees to our chest and circle the hips. So any tension, just release it out of there and circle in the opposite direction. So let's do one more spinal twist here. We're going to take the knees high. We're going to bring them all the way over to the right, all the way down to the floor for a bigger spinal twist. Reach the left arm out, and let's take the arm across and touch the right hand. We're going to do a few of these, watching the arm as it goes over. So we're moving our head. And let's do a few more and breathe. And one more time, touch the hand, bring the arm back behind you, look at the hand if you can, roll the shoulder down so it helps open the chest. At the same time, we're going to straighten out the legs, so we're going to lengthen through the whole spine and breathe. Keep rolling the shoulder down. And 2 more breaths. And then we're bending the legs. Let's come back to the center. And before we go to the other side, we're going to hug the knees in, make some circles with the hips. And circle in the opposite direction. And now let's take the knees over to the left. We're squeezing them together. They come all the way down. We're going to take our right arm behind us. First of all, just lengthen here. And then start to bring the arm over to the left, touch the left palm, and go back over behind you. A few more times. Just let your head move with the movement. And we're going to do one more. And bring the arm back and look over to the right hand. Now we're going to straighten out our legs so they're lengthening to the left. Keep the legs together, flex the feet, and breathe. See if you can roll your right shoulder down. And last deep breath. So first of all, we're going to bend the legs. Let's come back to the center, hug the knees in again. And this time we're going to come into happy baby and take a few breaths. And then feet together, Baddha Konasana. Feel like you can still roll the shoulders down. A couple more breaths. And let's put our feet down, another Setu Bandha. We're going to roll the hips up and we're going to walk the shoulder blades closer together. Hands come toward the feet and breathe, lifting the hips up. And two more breaths. And then slowly lowering down. And let's roll to the side. We're going to come on up. And let's sit cross-legged and see how our back is. We're going to start with a forward fold. So lengthening the arms. Let's walk our arms over to the right. Breathe, and then over to the left. Back to the center. We're going to sit up and do some shoulder circles. So we're going to take our right shoulder up, back, and behind us, and the left. And just go slowly as you do this, looking over your shoulder. You want that shoulder to kind of move as you do this. And just feel the exhale and feel the shoulder letting go. Let's do one more. And we're going to take our right hand down and left arm over. Let's do some big arm circles here. So if it's too much on the shoulder, bend the arm so the elbow comes up. Otherwise, lengthening, and a couple more big circles. And the last time, reach it on over and breathe. Release the head. And two more breaths. And let's slowly come on up. And we're going to go to the other side. Left hand down, and let's do those big arm circles on this side. So just notice the difference in the shoulders from side to side. You know, it's how we carry things. And feel that stretch all the way through the back. And let's do two more. And let's just hold that arm over and breathe wherever you are. If it's too much on the shoulder, adjust yourself. And one more breath. And let's come back up and just sit for a second. Palms facing up. Close your eyes and feel the difference between the ears and the shoulders. Maybe a little bit more tingling in the shoulders. We're going to take the right ear toward the right shoulder. If you feel dizzy in any way, open your eyes. Otherwise, you can keep them closed. See how much the head can come over to the right. Feel that stretch and breathe. And let's go to the other side. Here we go. So we're going to take the left ear toward the left shoulder. Sometimes if it's too much, you could put a block underneath your elbow. Kind of just depends on how much stretch you want. Let's take a few more breaths. Keep the right shoulder down. And we're going to come back up to the center and lengthen. Let's look up. And then chin toward the chest. And we're going to, with the chin at the chest, you're going to turn your head to the right. And then over to the left. Back to the center. And let's look straight ahead now. Neutral spine. And twist to the right. And then twist to the left. And let's come to the center again, another forward fold. Let's take 3 breaths. Really good. We're going to come back up and let's come on to hands and knees. And feel the neutral spine. So we're going to start some cat-cows first with the chin coming toward the chest. And let's do some slow cat-cows so we really feel the movement. Find where the tension is in your back. Each time, making the movement a little longer. Notice how all these back muscles are connected. Let's do one more. And then we're going to sit back and come into our child's pose. And reach the arms forward. Walk our arms to the right. And then over to the left. And then to the center and puppy pose, reaching the arms forward. And lengthen the arms as you stretch the back. 3 more breaths. And let's come down to a sphinx. So here we are, we're going to roll the shoulders down. Feel the strength of the shoulders as you roll them down, and let's take 3 breaths. Really good, and let's lift up, half arm plank. So we're going to work the feet a little bit and take 3 breaths. Come back to child's pose. And now let's try our iguana. We're going to reach the hips forward as we gently look up and and come back to child's pose. Let's do a couple more. And we're going to take another breath in child's pose and come to downward dog. Press one heel down and then the other. And let's lift up on our toes and really press the palms down. So you feel the mid-back muscles working, the subscapula. And then we're going to walk forward to the top of our mat. And let's come halfway up. So as we are here, we're going to roll the shoulders down and then come into a forward fold and roll all the way up. So we're using the spine, reaching the arms up, hands to our heart, twist the upper body to the right and then over to the left. And let's come to the center and bring our elbows to our thighs. Lengthen the upper back as you roll the shoulders down and bend deeper into the hips, like you're ready to dive. Take another breath. Let's come into a forward fold, hands down to the mat. Step the right leg back to a lunge. And then left leg steps back, downward dog. Right leg lifts up and steps forward, and the left. And we're going to try that halfway up again. Exhale, forward fold, and roll all the way up. So notice the spine, arms come up, hands to our heart, twist the upper body to the left, and then to the right. Let's come to the center, elbows down to the thighs again. So we feel how we're coming into the hips because of gravity. And then into our forward fold, release the head. Step the left leg back to that lunge. Take another deep breath. Step the right leg back, downward dog. And then lift the left leg up and step the leg forward. And then the right. We're going to try our halfway up again. Lengthen and then forward fold, release. Roll all the way up. And let's bring our arms into a goal post position. We're going to turn just the head to the right and then over to the left, back to the center. Let's take our right hand and put it palm facing up on our sacrum, the back where the block was, and then the left one comes on top of it. Feel the shoulders rolling down. You can adjust this in any way. Now we're going to turn our head to the right and over to the left and back to the center. Let's clasp our hands behind us. Inhale and look up. And then forward fold, bend the knees. So chest to thigh, reaching the arms up. Feel free to straighten your legs or just keep them like this. Release the head, one more breath. And then bending as we come all the way up. And we're going to just release the hands down by our sides and feel. Feel the shoulders rolling down and feel your posture. We're going to bring the right leg in front of us, point the toes. Take a breath. Lift the leg up and down 5 times. Just notice your posture. We're adding a little balance. Let's do one more. And then put the right foot down and switch. So we're looking at one point ahead of us, pointing the left toes. Here we go, lifting and lowering 5 times. Keep breathing. And one more. And then our left foot down. So now we're going to walk backwards. We're going to take our right big toe behind the left heel and keep going. If you want to bring your hands to your heart, I kind of like it. It feels like everything's pressing toward the midline. And keep going. One more step backwards and then just stand there. Take another breath. Let's go forward. So heel in front of the big toe. Roll the foot down. And we're coming back to Tadasana. Let's take another breath. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And let's step back, downward dog, and take a few breaths. Let's come into child's pose. So we're going to bend and come and sit on our heels, stretching the feet a little bit. Let's lift our hips up for puppy. So we're stretching the spine. We're going to come down into sphinx again. And then bring our arms over our head and take 3 breaths. We're going to bend the right leg and hold the right foot and press the hip down, press the thigh down into the mat. And let's roll onto our left hip. And we're going to bring that leg straight out. So let go of the foot, right hand on the hip, and lift and lower. And just a few times, so slowly, we're balancing through the hip. And let's do one more. Now we're going to point the toes, 5 little circles, lengthening the leg. And go in the opposite direction. Let's try our bigger spinal twist. So we're going to take the right leg out in front of us, right arm over our head, rolling the chest open and breathing. So here we are, we're helping that right shoulder, lengthening the right arm. Just adjust yourself so it's comfortable. And breathe. And one more breath. So we're going to come back onto our belly, arms over our head. And let's bend our left leg, holding the left foot, pressing that down into the mat, that thigh, so we're going to stretch the quad. Let's come on over, roll over to our right hip. We're going to release the leg, so left hand to the left hip, and lower and lift 5 slow times. So even when we can't do balance as well as we might like to, we can do it this way. This will help strengthen the legs and the hips too. So one more. Point the toes, 5 little circles. And then 5 in the other direction. Now let's do the same thing we did on the other side. We're going to bring our left leg down to the floor, left arm over our head and lengthen and breathe in this final twist. And a couple more slow breaths. And then let's come back to our belly and take a breath. Now we're going to take our arms out in a T, turn our head to the right, put the ear down. And then turn the head to the other side, over to the left. And let's hold our hands now behind us, behind our back. And we're going to lift everything up and down 5 times. Use the breath. And then let's do one big cobra. So hands underneath the shoulders, lift up and just hold as we look up. And then come back to child's pose. And we're going to sit up on our heels. So if you need your blocks, we've got our blocks. And let's roll the shoulders down, fingers down by the hips. So if you can't lift the hips, try this much. If you can lift the hips, we're putting our hands down, lifting the hips up, and taking a few breaths. And then let's sit back on our heels. We're going to come forward to regular child's pose. And let's come into downward dog and take 3 breaths. We're going to lift our right leg up and let's step it forward. We're also going to use our block here on the inside of our right foot. So it makes this pose a little bit more accessible so we can come deeper. The right leg is 90 degrees. And reverse, left arm down, right arm up. Let's bring our fingertips down to the block, left arm up. And we're going to bring our left hand on our low back. And maybe you want to try the binding. You don't have to. If you do, bring your right hand underneath and just see how it goes. Let's come back up to Warrior Two. Now we're going to straighten our right leg for triangle. So make the pose a little shorter. Reach to the right and we're going to bring our hand to the block. Left arm up. And if that upper back is too much, just look straight ahead. Otherwise, see if you can roll your head up. Kind of depends on how the neck is. we're gonna take our block with us. So let's bring it up with us. Bring our arms up over our head, and we're gonna look up, a little back bend. And then let's come to warrior two on the left side and put the block down on the inside of our left foot and see how this side is. Roll the shoulders down and breathe. And reverse, right arm down and left arm up. Now let's bring the fingertips down to the block, right arm up. And a couple more breaths. We're going to take our hand on the low back, so that shoulder's rolling down. If you want to try the binding on this side, you don't have to. You could just even try a little bit. Left arm goes underneath the legs. No one will ever know. Take another breath. And let's come back to our warrior two. Now we're going to straighten our left leg for triangle. So let's reach to the left and bring the fingers down, right arm up, and see how the head is on this side. You can also look down if it's too much on the neck. Kind of experiment to see what feels the best. And one more breath. Now we're going to bring the block with us as we come up into our another back bend, lengthening upwards. And let's bring our block down to the inside of our legs and do a forward fold. Let's go side to side with our transverse lunges. And we're going to keep our legs bent, and let's come up into that kind of on our fingertips, roll the shoulders down, and take another deep breath. And then we're going to bring ourselves up into goddess and turn our feet out and bring the elbows open and closed. And one more. And let's inhale up, and we're going to come back to downward dog. So move your block out of the way so you don't fall in that block. And let's take 3 breaths. And we're going to bend our knees so we can use our block here for a deeper puppy pose. So we're going to use both blocks, and we're going to put it down. We've done this before, but it's like a triangle. So our elbows come on this triangle of both blocks, and hands come behind our head, and lengthen the spine backwards, the hips backwards. Press the palms together. And just let the head come between the arms. Take another couple of breaths. And if that's too much, don't let the head hang quite so much. You might have to adjust yourself. Now we're going to come back and sit on our heels and move the blocks out of the way so we can feel what's happening in our body. Roll the shoulders down and And take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to reach the arms forward and come back to child's pose. Downward dog. Let's walk to the top of the mat. And we're going to try that halfway up position again. And then forward fold and roll all the way up and reach the arms up. Hands to our heart. Now we're going to bring the right knee up and try our can-can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And put our right foot down and then left knee up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And left foot down. So let's use, if you want to, our blocks, because we're going to do warrior 3 with the blocks. So if you have the blocks on the high setting, they're not as stable, just so you know. So walk your feet back, big toes touching. And bring your head, just release the head. This feels pretty good just right here. Now let's bring our right leg up behind us for warrior 3 and take 3 breaths. And then right foot down, let's switch. Left leg up, warrior 3, flexing the foot, 3 breaths. And then left foot down. Let's come back to that table. So lengthening the spine, releasing the head for 3 breaths. And then we're going to slowly walk forward. And we're going to come into a squat position. So you could move your blocks or use the blocks for squat, whatever you're working on. And let's take a few breaths here, reaching the arms forward and looking down. So we're stretching that upper back. And we're going to take 3 more breaths. And then let's roll down, and we're going to start with knees to our chest. And then happy baby. And if you close your eyes, you could breathe into the whole spine. Let's bring our feet together, Baddha Konasana. And we're going to bring the feet down for Baddha Konasana, down to the mat. Use your blocks on the outside edges of your thighs. And bring your arms wherever they're comfortable. And let's take a few breaths here. Noticing the breath in the belly, the mid-chest, and the upper chest. Soften your fingers, your jaw, facial muscles. We're just going to take a few more breaths. And we're going to transition, so you're welcome to stay like this in this pose. Otherwise, we're going to use our hands to press our feet together. We're going to lift our hips up in a Setu Bandha. And take a couple more breaths. And then rolling the hips down. So we're going to use our blocks as we sit up. So just like I said at the beginning, we're going to put one block underneath our back, our shoulder blades, the bra strap, and the other one is for the head. So now that we've opened up, it's going to be a little bit easier for the shoulders. Just make sure you feel lengthening in the back of in the neck, and the chin is slightly tucked. And you feel the support of the block on your back. So it's really lifting the heart and opening the heart. And we're just going to breathe here for our final pose. Feeling the flow of energy into our body, and adjust yourself so you feel completely supported. Feel that deeper exhale. Maybe you even feel that sense of weightlessness in your body. And as we're breathing in and breathing out, we're feeling all of our cells and molecules being filled with beautiful prana and energy. Feel it in your body. We're wishing ourselves good health and harmony to all of our cells and molecules. Peace to our homes and families and communities. And peace to our brothers and sisters everywhere. Now we're going to stretch our arms over our head, taking a deep breath. And we're going to roll over to the side. And let's press ourselves up to a seated position and bring our hands to our heart and seal in our practice today together. Let's take a deep inhale and sigh. One more time. Namaste. Thank you, ladies, for coming today. Have a wonderful day. So glad everybody's back. Yay.
That felt great.
It did. Thank you, Marion.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
Good. Thank you. Joni, I hope it's better in there.
I'm cured.
Good.
Right.
Good. I'm so glad. Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Bye.